update that I put together for like analytics and tracking. Um, so I was actually recommended this tool by someone that I've was putting a few automations together for, and I've just like partnered up with on a couple of different things. And it's a way to manage like hundreds of LinkedIn accounts simultaneously. And because like I'm thinking of offering this as more of a service, so I get a lot of people like reaching out asking to use these like automation flows that I've built. So I'm just changing things around to like cater to that a little bit more. Um, so I've built out this like sort of centralized dashboard. Um, and of course, this is actually automated to set up as well. So I'll just walk you through the process, and it's really like quite a big like a game changer almost in terms of tracking the entire sequence and where all of our sales are actually coming from. So the tool that we are using is Rebrandly, and what this does is it like cloaks your links, but the thing that is quite interesting about it is that I can actually use my like actual domain. So in this case, I'm using like widgets.notifier.io. So rather than using like a bit.ly link or something that people just aren't really comfortable like clicking on, um, I, I I can use Rebrandly, and it's using our own link. So and I also now have like unique tracking in each message that we send out. Um, so this is in like the invitation. It's going to look like this, and it's got like numbers at the end. This is just for like testing purposes to start with. I'm going to come up with like a better way of like, because now it looks more like an affiliate link. But I'll come up with a better way of doing this, and then if you look at like message two, that has its own unique link, different to the first one, message three and message four. So now I can actually pinpoint exactly on which message made the user convert, rather than just knowing that the traffic came from LinkedIn and it came from our outreach campaign. It also means I can run like A/B testing on our messages. I'll have to change the flow a little bit for that, but it just is like a massive like game changer in terms of like in terms of optimizing the flows. Before I was just working from like Google Analytics and tracking from there. Um, Also now there's like a centralized system. I've added in the total number of invites that have been sent. Like I've just added this in about like 10 minutes ago. So there's a small, only 12 people here now. Um, but now that's being tracked. I can also track total messages that have been sent in a specific day. And then I could also make like analytics on top of that based on how many sales and signups um, I actually received. And then like you could essentially work out the exact equation in terms of, if I send this many messages, I'll get this many sales, and then you're going to know the best way to like to scale up. So because this was like custom built, obviously on most like SaaS platforms that you're paying for, you would expect something like that, but this is all built from scratch. So I've had to do it myself, and the clicks actually sync over in real time as well, which is quite interesting. So I'll just show you how that flow looks. When I connect a new account into the database, it will have no information. It will literally just be a cookie and a first name. Um, it will then go and make four unique links, and then it will go ahead and update the Airtable base. It will add in some template messages that I've made up, but these are all completely customizable. Um, so if I let's say like on one account I want to send out completely different messages, or for example if I'm managing an account for a client, they're going to want completely different messages. I can change everything from here, from this centralized database just related to that specific account, and that will then send out unique messages. So these are just templates, but just like simply by coming in and just changing the text, that will actually change what is being sent out on LinkedIn. So this is like a much easier way to manage things, especially as I continue to scale up. um, I'm looking to hit about I'm looking to manage about 1,000 accounts in total, and just having all of these in like unique Integromat flows would just be like impossible to manage, this is really like the best way to do things. So yeah, like those 4 unique links are made, and then they're synced back across to they're synced back to Airtable, short URL 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then it also adds in these messages like I sent. So I think I mentioned before about the spelling mistake trick. So like here, purposefully, I put a Y at the end of the first name, so that's going to get added in. So if I put in my name, which is Nathan, it would put Nathani, and then straight after I can follow up with this. So I say, sorry, it's first name, so that will put in my name correctly, and then I would just make a little remark about it saying, can't even spell my own name right these days. So it's just like a little light way to open up a conversation, and it also looks as if it's coming from a real person. Like most people wouldn't automate something like that because automation takes out human error. So it's quite ironic that we're purposefully putting in human errors to make it appear that we're not automating these flows. So this also means I can make this far more like scalable. For example, if a client comes in, I can have them set up and running in like 5 minutes if I'm managing the flow. And then Rebrandly. So now that we've set up all of the unique URLs in this flow, we're now watching for a new click. Whenever a new click comes in, we're checking if it contains message 1, message 2, message 3, or message 4. That's the logic behind it, and then it's going to be routed into the correct table based on if it's message 1, 2, 3, or 4. So here we've had like 1 click on message 3. So yeah, out of like 12 messages that we've sent, I mean, this is also like obviously coronavirus is going on as well, which is going to completely change like our marketing analytics. You know, people are just busy with other things. But yeah, I just thought I'd like share how you can implement some flows like this. But the other thing that's even more interesting is so each of these has UTM tracking, and I can actually make unlimited Rebrandly links. So technically, what I was thinking is you could add personalization very easily onto your website by scraping the LinkedIn profile, making a Rebrandly link, and then within the UTM, adding the first name, last name, or like company on whatever they're doing. And then when you go to send out a message, attach that link in the message. So every person will have their own unique link. And when they click through, they're going to be presented with like a personalized page. So it will say like, hi, David. And like we could even pull in their logo from like Clearbit API. So that is like a really quite an interesting automation that I think I'm actually going to build upon it. And yeah, but anyway, just to like get started, I thought that I could share this. Like obviously the Rebrandly link can also be used in emails. So if we're hitting someone across multiple platforms, we would have one link associated to that one profile. And if we're hitting them on Twitter, email, and LinkedIn, they'll be getting the same. I mean, actually, we're going to want to do a slight variation in terms of the social, the channel they're coming from. But still, we can actually just associate that link to that specific user, and we're going to know exactly what channel they've come from, and they're going to get a completely personalized website experience, and we're going to have much better data within our like management console in terms of where our conversions are coming from. I can now run much better tests on our copy. So this is a really good update to the flow that I just thought I'd share. Anyway, I hope everyone's very safe with coronavirus going on. Like little crazy times that we live in. I think a lot of people are quite unsure about what to do and are just sort of panicking. But nonetheless, just yeah, be safe. If you have any questions about like this flow, of course, just leave a comment and I'll be happy to help. Seeing as it is coronavirus time, a lot of people are working from home and have a lot more like free time. So now's a great time for like education, like reading more books and testing like out new strategies and flows and things like that. So just because you have time off, just yeah, definitely like invest in yourself and learn some new things whilst this situation's going on. But yeah, thank you very much for watching and have a great day.